been doing this?
Since 1993.
Wow.
Actually, that was the year that Warren Farrell's Myth of Male Power came up, and reading that sort of turned my life around, and I've been doing this ever since.
Mm. And was there like a moment that red pilled you? Like, how did you get into the space?
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the live Matthew and Carlene channel. Today, we are covering Pearl on a red pill debate. So, let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into it!
Well, the book played a role in red pilling me, but what happened after that, I worked in a residential treatment facility, and I came into work after reading that book. In one of our staff meetings, I asked everybody why we were assessing every woman that came into our facility for whether or not she'd been a victim of domestic violence, and we were assessing all the men who came into our facility for whether or not they'd been perpetrators of domestic violence. And we weren't asking women whether they were perpetrators or men whether they were victims.
Wait, what type of facility was it?
Substance abuse treatment.
Oh, and so they would automatically ask the women if they were victims and ask
Yes.
the men if they were Is that because of the Duluth model, right?
That was the Duluth model, and
Yeah.
it also goes back to just sugar and spice narrative about women, and men are bad, women are good narrative that's been around is at least as long as Duluth or longer. But when I asked about it, I got hostility. I mean, there was outrage among my peers for even asking the question. And my first thought was, I think I'm over some kind of target here. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to find out. And I've been finding out ever since.
And so did you end up like leaving the facility, or
Yes.
how did that
I ended
play
up
out?
leaving the field.
And my bro, I can totally relate to this. Because the exact same thing happened to me multiple times. Like, take this for example. Like, when I was in school, same exact situation. Anytime a female student made a complaint towards a male student was automatically guilty till proven innocent. But every time a male student made a complaint towards a female student, the complaint was always put into a question of doubt. And all it took for the school facility to debunk the male student's complaint about this female student, or a female faculty member for that matter, was for them to just say, "Madam, is what this male student is saying about you true?" Woman says, "No." Okay, then it's just a bunch of guy nonsense and a story. No need to look into it. No need for due process. No need for statements. No need for anything. Woman says the male student's complaint is not true. It's not true. And when I questioned that, the staff members at my school, their immediate reaction was, "We're not talking about these women anymore. We're talking about you now." Even though I'm the one who brought up the concern. I did. And immediately after that, I got so much hostility. Not just by my female students, but also by faculty members. And I swear, the hostility from the female students was widely encouraged by the faculty members just because I asked that question. And when you look at the comments on this YouTube channel, you're going to notice that, hey, if you just put the narrative of women are pure and innocent little angels who can do no wrong, Western women that is, Western men are the source of all things evil in the world, even if it's just as simple as you choosing to date a woman from overseas instead of locally, you and your whole family get a lot of hostilities. You are. Like, you will. That's literally what's been happening to me. And like, okay, that's really saying something. It really is.
And doing my own thing. I just couldn't take it anymore because there was a lot more problems than that. And some problems not even gender related. The recidivism rates in chemical dependency treatment are abysmal, and lots of other reasons to leave. But my interest in men's issues took me into counseling men, and that's what I've been doing.
And what would you say are the common problems that men come to you with?
They've been screwed over by
Wow.
women for the
Yeah.
most part. I mean, I'm not casting dispersions here, but of the men I talk to, 98% of them, whatever life circumstances they're dealing with at the time, go back to decisions that they've made regarding women, getting married to the wrong women, getting the wrong woman.
And my bro, I'm willing to take it even a step further than that. Because I've spoken to a lot of single women here in the West who have hit the wall now. They're no longer fertile. The opportunity to get married is gone now, it's officially gone. And they told me that the most common denominator in their story is that the most difficult part about that situation they're in, hitting the wall and still being single, is that it was not their choice. It wasn't. Because when they were in their prime, they had access to a great guy who was bona fide husband and material, who had made a great father to their kids if they chose to marry that guy, but they didn't. Because their fellow women, their fellow female friends, invited themselves into the relationship not to support it, but to destroy it. And they succeeded. They did. They would literally influence the relationship with her. Don't believe me? How many times have we seen women here in the West make complaints for other women on their behalf without first getting proof they had permission to do this? Like, how many times have we seen that?
Pregnant, getting in a relationship with somebody who'll make false allegations, all these things, and not screening women. It goes back to that. But they're drinking, they're drugging, their depression, their suicidal ideation, all kinds of life problems. When we talk long enough, we get back to the women in their lives and what they were expecting. Guys think I'm going to meet a girl and fall in love and she's going to love me back and we're going to go off happily ever after into the sunset. And then they find out that it doesn't really work that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's devastating for them.
Yep. And I'm willing to take it further than that too. Because one thing I noticed about these school shootings here in the West that are being posted on mainstream media, I started noticing a pattern here where the majority of the surviving victims that mainstream media will allow them to tell their story about their experience, it doesn't matter which one it is, really. The majority of those people, of the survivors telling their story, are women, whether it be female faculty, female students. The majority of them are women, is what I noticed. That seems to be the pattern in mainstream media reporting school shootings. It is. That really got me into looking into it a little bit deeper, into those stories. And one thing I noticed is that the most common motivator for those shootings was this guy, when he was a student at that school, he was horrifically abused. Well, not saying, won't go so far as abused, but he was horrifically treated by the women at that school. And he clearly wanted justice that was denied him. That was the motivator. Which got me thinking, wait a minute, maybe the reason why all these mainstream medias are not allowing the male survivors to tell their story, like they're not putting them on camera, is because if they go on camera, they're going to say, maybe, and I don't know for sure, but maybe it's a possibility, if they put the male survivors on camera about these school shootings, they might say that the shooter didn't really express any real interest in them. And that might cause suspicions. It would. Anyways, that's all we got time for today. I think I'll make myself some chocolate milk now. Chocolate milk is good. And all of you men out there, hey, here at the Matthew and Carlene channel, we're here for you. We are. Because after all, one thing I notice about a lot of men's issues is that I think a lot of men need to just have the ability to talk to someone about it without worrying about being judged or getting hostile. That's one of the reasons why me and Carlene decided to make this channel. It really is. You men keep at it. You guys are